Hey, you guys, let's get into your reading. Divine, what is the most important message at this time? Oh, okay, that was fast. Okay, so we have the strength coming out first. Okay. Divine, what else is here? And we have the Eight of Swords. What else, Divine? And we have the Chariot. I feel like what is happening now is you are to remain persistent in the direction that you're going. I feel like for you, this is also a solo journey, and this is something that you need to keep to yourself. So you could be up to something. I feel like you finally, honestly, have the willpower in order it needs to get something done. I feel like you possibly have been waiting, and I feel like you've honestly been waiting for a time where maybe you feel like you were directed specifically from the divine in order to get something done. I feel like you, I say the divine, and we have the Hierophant. So yes, so I feel like you are headed in the direction of, shall we say, a higher calling or something that just feels more purposeful. For you, I feel like a lot of times, all we do is work, 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 but we don't live in our purpose. So the direction that you're headed in seems to be one of, shall we say, a purpose-driven life. That book could be very significant. Maybe some of you all are picking that book back up. Divine, what else is here? But in whatever direction you're going in, you will not be stopped. I feel like there's like this tenacity with you feeling like you need to get something done. You have to get this done, and this is by any means necessary. We have the Ten of Wands here. It does feel like a hefty responsibility, but I feel like you have whatever it takes in order to get this done, especially with the Ten of Wands. I feel like if anybody, should we say, can possess Ten of Wands energy, they could do anything. This is something that you probably have been doing on your own since its inception. Something created specifically by you. We have the Four of Wands. So you definitely are moving in the direction of something that's meant to be successful to you. I feel like you, in some way, are a self-motivator. Definitely a self-motivator, and I don't feel like you are reliant on a lot of people to get the job done, which is why I feel like the Ten of Wands is showing up. I'm hearing for as much is given, as much is required. Divine, what else? Too much is given, much is required. Yeah, there you go. And then we have the Nine of Swords. Yeah, I feel like it's, this time it feels emotions, are high. But even with the emotions being high, possibly even with you maybe even being stressed, show it's stressed or concerned a little bit, I feel like you're still getting the job done. We have 8, 9, and 10 here as a chronological synchronicity. But with whatever it is, I feel like there's this notion of overcoming some type of fear, because just like I said, while this may feel like a burden, while this may feel like something that is stressful, I feel like you are going to receive the payoff for what this is concerning. I don't feel like it's just monetary. I feel like you are in this area of your life where you're looking for recognition and reward, but not just recognition and reward from anyone. It's more so from yourself, and then honestly from God. It's almost like you want to get something done because you don't want to disappoint God. We even have the Five of Cups. That's so funny. We have the Five of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So it's definitely like this, not a notion that you don't want to disappoint yourself and you don't want to disappoint God. Eight of Swords is type of energy. Most people say it's self-imprisoned or self-imposed, but right now this just gives me you're staying to yourself. I know, many other cards play a part in that as well, but the energy is more regulated towards someone who is in some way keeping things to themselves. You are concerning yourself with yourself. If you are stressed out by the concern or anything, you're not sharing that or indulging that with the world, because there's almost this not a notion that you have to be the strong individual, but it's not even that. It's more so this energy of not letting someone see you sweat. So everything that's going on with you, your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, and your drive, a lot of that is just geared towards self energy. Divine, tell me about this Chariot here. Okay. So we have the Three of Wands as well as the Three of Pentacles. Divine, what else is this? Because it could be. Yeah, and we have the Page of Swords. Okay, so with the Chariot incoming, I do feel like with the Six of Pentacles here at the bottom of the deck, there's shall we say, previous energies, and it doesn't feel like this this feels like missed opportunities, and not missed opportunities from people that you know, more missed opportunities as far as career, job, maybe things you gave up previously, maybe in order to deal with other people, or you took on other responsibilities. There's an opportunity that's getting ready to spin the block, and it seems like it's attached to someone who's been watching your growth, is what it feels like with the Chariot. Like somebody's been watching your growth, and I feel like there's somebody who wants to give you something. And giving you something could simply be words of encouragement to help you to continue to move forward on your journey. This could also be some form of help with the Chariot, help that you didn't expect or see coming, with the Three of Pentacles and the Three of Wands, because there's this energy of you needing help and you not feeling like you will get the help because maybe you just aren't around anyone. Maybe the relationships that you established previously are non-existent, but it's definitely given this energy of some form of help possibly being on the way, because somebody's been watching you. And if it's not help, someone has been watching your potential, somebody has been watching you grow, somebody has seen how strong and how tenacious you are as an individual. And I feel like this is something that someone is admiring, but it seems like someone does have an eye on you. Divine, tell me more about the Page of Swords here. Yeah, we have the Six of Swords and the Eight of Wands. I do feel like there is someone in some way who is going to be guided towards you. And I do feel like in some way this is divine intervention as well. Like I feel like you've possibly prayed or asked for some form of assistance, or something is getting so big to the point that you can't do it by yourself. You can no longer do it by yourself. And I do feel like this is some form of help. With the Six of Swords and with the Eight of Wands, that's guided energy. It's messages, it's people, fast accelerated movement, positive movement forward as well. But with the Six of Swords tends to be a guided type of energy. This is a direction that people feel like they need to go in. Like somebody possibly feels like they do need to help you because this is divine order. Divine, can I have one more? Yeah, we have the Two of Cups. So I do feel like this is a unionship, but with the Two of Cups coming in, it doesn't feel like it's romantic or anything like that. This feels like help, assistance with what you need to take the load off. Like some of you all have been carrying a very, very hefty and heavy load. And I feel like there is help coming in to relinquish, to relieve rather, some of that weight that you've been carrying all by yourself. Divine, what else is here? We have the Ace of Wands. Yeah. Tell me more about the Ace of Wands here, Divine. And now we have the King of Swords. Yeah. So let's just say with the Page of Swords and then immediately skipping over the Knight, which is interesting. With the King of Swords, I feel like with Ace of Wands, King of Swords, like whoever this was, they've been watching you for a while. The Page energy tends to be a younger type of energy. I feel like something for you has definitely gone in a progressive movement. Something for you is definitely working out, and if it hasn't worked out already, you're definitely on the path to that. You've been consistent with something. And I feel like now that somebody has been watching you for a while, and now that this business or this thing that you have been working on has matured to a level where you need some help, I feel like now this person is also ready, King of Swords. Like I feel like somebody has matured to a point where they can provide some sort of assistance, because maybe somebody wanted to help, and at that point in time, while they were watching you or looking you, they didn't have the resources that would enable you to progress. But I do feel like now someone has watched you enough, and they may have a solution to something that may be troubling you. Divine, Ace of Wands, King of Swords. Yeah, it feels like somebody has an answer to a problem. We have the Three of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. So what this is giving me is something, while you are a self-motivated individual and while things are working out for you, it seems like you are reaching a point where you are starting to cap or starting to plateau. I do feel like somebody is going to come in to give you a different type of insight, because something that you're doing on your own, it's working, but it's only working to a certain degree, especially with the Nine of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. And before something goes to shit, I feel like you are going to receive some sort of resource, a tool, an aid, a partner that will be able to come in to become the missing link, because something like you're doing good, but there's something about you being able to do better once this person comes in. I don't feel like this is something that you are going to be solely relying on, but I do feel like this individual that's coming in, you first had the Nine of Swords, now you have the Nine of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. Like somebody is coming in to release some pressure of yours, like being independent, like, because I feel like it's a thorn in your side in a way, while you are grossly happy with being able to do what you do and do it on your own. It's still maybe like it's still a burden. There's responsibilities that come with that you solely don't want to deal with on your own. Like, I know you know what you signed up for, but at the same time I do feel like you are about to get some form of relief. Divine, what else? So we have the King of Pentacles, yeah. So what? Definitely, like I feel like with this, with the King of Swords and the King of Pentacles, like these are two types of different energies, and I feel like the marriage between these two would actually be really good, especially if that's the dynamic. Like while you know how to execute this plan, I feel like there's somebody who knows about strategy. There's somebody who knows how to create the plan. That's not to say that you are a bad entrepreneur, because like I said, there are certain things that you don't know, because I feel like in the area that you are working in, you're degreed or you have knowledge to a certain extent. I feel like somebody else has another form. So it's giving me like Hangman. They're coming in with a different perspective, a different understanding. And I feel like in this vein and in this notion, something will definitely begin to grow to you, because maybe you were dealing, possibly with a situation that was going pretty bad, or it was about to go bad. But I do feel like you are about to be relieved in some kind of way. Divine King of Pentacles. Yeah. We have the Four of Pentacles. And why the Four of Pentacles, Divine? Yeah. So we have the King of Wands. So with the Four of Pentacles and King of Wands, this is giving me an energy that maybe once was stagnant, or you were withholding your potential in some kind of way. Like I feel like your potential was maybe masked under the auspice of you feeling like you have to do everything on your own. And I don't feel like, maybe starting out initially that was the way it had to be. I feel like also a lot of you all were solely relying on yourself because of your previous experiences and things that you also have gone through with the Nine of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. Like I feel like you had to do everything by yourself because you put your faith in people before, you put your trust in people before, and that went awry. There was a different form of trust and a different kind of relationship. I will hope that you've moved enough to a point of healing in your life where you are able to, garner a business, and where you are able to run that business. And honestly, if you aren't a healed individual, maybe this is something that you should hold off on right now until you do seek after some form of assistance as far as healing, many different methods and ways to get to healing as well. Divine, last few messages. Excuse me. We have the Death as well as the Four of Cups. This could be something, change could be something that you were kind of reluctant to do. I feel like that's always the way it is, especially when new people are coming in into something that you've already established. I feel like there's no need for you to have angst, or this is coming in for you to get relief, for you to have help. And a lot of you have prayed for this. A lot of you have asked for some form of assistance to come out of maybe a stuck situation. You don't even this doesn't even necessarily just have to be about business, because you are the business. Like, a lot of you all have been stuck, waiting, trying to figure things out. What's going on in this time? Do I stay still? Do I move? I feel like, yeah, this assistance that's coming in, this change is coming in, is to remove you out of stagnant situations where you're sitting down aimlessly waiting for something that's right in front of your face. Last message, Divine. Seven of Swords as well as the Four of Swords. So speaking of healing, 44 could be significant. Yeah, don't let your past experiences, the deceit, the behaviors that you were involved with previously, be the deterrent for you becoming a better individual, a better entrepreneur, for your business, seeing a boom in a positive direction. Seven of Swords, Four of Swords, definitely a healed type of energy, something that you need to consider, something you need to rest on. Divine, expound on the Seven of Swords, please. Yep. So we have the Two of Pentacles. So it's almost like the mindset behind, maybe things that you've experienced. It needs to change, because once again, this change, this help, this assistance, whatever it may be, this could be a person, this could be a place, because sometimes place of location could affect business as well. So a shift and change is all coming in for this to be a positive movement for you, not something that's meant to stifle you or make you feel like you're not doing enough, or make you feel like alone you can't accomplish something or you can't get it done. As I said, like, there's something that you're doing well, but there's also another perspective that will help this business become more rounded off. Maybe this individual that's coming in, for you, is going to give you a broader perspective, because maybe you're so niche right now and you need to be more broad. Okay. I feel like in all areas of our life, when we're looking for assistance, we need to have discernment. I don't feel like that discernment should be biased just because you are in a particular religion, or, practice a different form of belief. But I also feel like that discernment needs to come in when you are looking for understanding, when you are looking for answers, when you're looking for clarity. I do have an answer for you. Check out our sponsor, Psychic Source. Click that link down below in the description box. Use my unique code, JMarian, and you can get up to 40 minutes of clarity and insight for only $19.80. Plenty of time for you to get answers, plenty of time for you to write those questions down that you want clarity on. I would say make the focus more about you than anyone else, because that's what tarot truly is about. Tarot is about the journey. If you're not satisfied with that clarity and those answers that you do receive, you can also get your money back. So click the link down below in the description box and see what's going on. Okay. And now on to your reading. Divine, what closing messages do you have for us? Okay. So we have the Judgment here. I got to cover it up because all of them naked. So we have the Judgment here. What else, Divine? Yeah, and then we have the Death here. Yeah. So this definitely, with the Judgment and the Death here, this definitely is giving me a sense of a higher calling, higher purpose. I feel like there's just total, shall we say, surrender to your purpose. Like, I feel like you are accepting the fact that some things in your life just absolutely need to change. And then some things that some of the changes that are coming into your life are in a sense unavoidable, because it feels like it's purposeful. This feels like this is the direction that you are supposed to be going in. A lot of you all have been sitting and waiting for some sort of confirmation. What am I to do? What is my purpose? Because I feel like we know our purpose. I feel like that's just the thing that we are not beckoned to go to because of societal norms and things that are happening, within the world. When you go after dreams, when you go after your own personal goals of possibly just being a creator in general, no matter what field that's in, there's always some sort of scrutiny because people feel like you're supposed to go out and get a job. You're just supposed to go to college and do nothing else. I feel like while those are modes in our life that we do shape ourselves to, I feel like there's also another shape. There's also another mold, and that mold tends to be one of discovery. And generally, when you're going after your dreams, people won't get it. I don't feel like that's the intention. Like, I feel like you are the only person who cares about your dream enough to see it done because nobody else is going to start that for you but you. Divine, what else is here? Yeah, we have the tower. Literally, all of the unavoidable cards are coming out. This is something that can't be avoided, and this isn't even something that you are being forced to do. I feel like this is actually you, and with you saying yes, or with you actively going after what you're going after, I do feel like you are accepting whatever comes with that. And I feel like it's those good things because, generally when a lot of changes, come in your life, especially when they feel like they are outside of your control, they're meant to push you into a direction that's more positive for you. Because generally when we do step into our purpose or when we have been working in that for a while, we don't realize how stagnant we actually truly were until we look back and reflect on where we came from, especially if you used to deal with a lot of people. Divine, what else is here? Yeah, and we have the Knight of Pentacles. What it's giving me is it's time to get the work done. I feel like you are a dedicated individual. I feel like you have the resources, the tools, you have whatever it takes in order to get the job done. And it's time to go to work. We've been waiting. We've been, saying that if you give me an opportunity, I'll do that thing and I'll get that thing done. I do feel like the opportunity is finally about to present itself, with the changes that you made. I feel like the initiation starts with you saying, okay, hey, I'm willing to go. I've had enough of this and I've had enough of that. I'm willing to accept in my life what changes I need to make in order to get the job done. Divine, what else is here? Last few messages, please. Okay. Yep. So we have the Ace of Cups that is coming out. We have the High Priestess here as well. And then lastly, we have the Six of Pentacles. So definitely giving me an opportunity of a lifetime. I feel like you have been waiting a while for this. And I feel like what's happening now is it's going to be very imperative and important that you trust what you know. There's a lot that you are aware of. There's a lot that you have understanding of. There's a lot that you are privy to. I feel like you have what it takes in order to get the job done, but I also know that you have been using your intuition that in some way has been guiding you in the direction that you need to go in order to receive what you need to receive, because there's more this need to be in a divine feminine type of energy or play more of a feminine role, not to be confused with female or lady, woman, or gender norms. It's more so about walking into that feminine capability that you have. And generally the feminine energy is an energy of attraction. It's one that's not out in the field. It's one that's more so in the background doing the unspoken work, having the wherewithal in order to get to where you need to get. It's a different perspective. It's more so about attracting. And I feel like that's the energy that we are being in. We need to be more receptive. We need to be more in a mode where we're willing to receive so that we can move forward. Because generally, I would say that the feminine would come before the masculine. And that's not to, talk about, once again, male and female. It's more so about attracting what it is you need to do. Because unless you sit into yourself, unless you're gathering the ideas and allowing yourself, shall we say, to like meditate and to be received, you won't know in which direction to go. So you can't do anything. So there's a mode of needing to be more feminine at this time. Last few messages, Divine. I feel one more. This Six of Pentacles. Oh, thank you. And I say feminine. We have the Queen of Pentacles here. Yeah. So with the Queen of Pentacles here, I definitely feel like this is a more feminine role. You're meant to be in this role where you are enjoying your abundance more peacefully. Like you're not working hard. Like the days of working extremely hard are about to be over. With the way people are recognizing their worth, with the way people are realizing many different things, people are realizing that they don't have to work as hard as they need to in order to have those great and good things in their life that they want. This is a time where the, shall we say, hierarchy is beginning to collapse. Those people that once were in control are no longer about to be in control. And it definitely is giving this energy of people taking back their lives, people taking back ownership of how they want to work and what they want to do in order to make that work happen. Because there's a lot of people have realized that they in some way have been tricked. That's just this energy that's happening. Like a lot of people feel like they've been tricked into an American dream that's never going to happen, because it's built on the backs of other people's ideas versus their own. So a lot of you all will be moving into areas of entrepreneurship, whether that's out in the media or whether that's just behind scenes, and you are taking charge of your life. Okay. All right, you guys, that was your reading. Hopefully this message resonates with you in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and you're able to take something from it that you could use. Of course, if there's anything you need from me, you can find those details down below in the description box. And that does include our sponsor, Psychic Source, because you need the clarity and you need the insight. So click that link and find out what's going on over there on Psychic Source and use your discernment to pick what advisor will best suit what questions you have. Those details down below in the description box. And as always, my good people, remember to conquer this day, and I'll see you in the network. Bye, guys.